I got the idea for doing this project by thinking through the process that directors actually have to go through when putting together the designs for their show and the products for their show. My students were given a production that they had to direct, and one of the things that they had to come up with was a print ad. But most people in the real world doing this job aren't going to make their own print ad. They're going to take their ideas to a designer in a short meeting and have the designer put together that advertisement for them. I had them bring their artistic ideas to the table for the meeting. They had a 15 to 20 minute meeting with students in Mr. Zimmerman's digital media class. And in that class, they had experts who knew how to work with Photoshop and were going to put together the posters for them. So the students met, they came up with some ideas. His class put together some ideas and presented them to my students. My students then gave him some feedback. Gave their designers feedback about ideas that they would like to see changed, things that they would like to see revised, and then his students made the final copy. And so my students now get the experience to see what it's like to actually have to delegate a job like that while still communicating an artistic vision. So our students didn't really want to meet face to face when it came time for the collaboration of the final projects. So his students literally sat in one lab while my students sat with a set of laptops, and they shared the presentations through Google Drive. My students opened up the drive, they saw what the project looked like, what the students had put together for them, and then we asked our students to engage in a comment conversation on those documents. So my students would comment on the project, and his students really at the exact same time could see those comments and respond to my students giving ideas or giving suggestions, and so that they could literally work on those projects as they were discussing, but not necessarily discussing in the same room.
Mr. Steffen came to me with this idea because most of the things that his students had presented in the past weren't necessarily as professional as he wanted them to be. It was a great opportunity for us to collaborate with somebody outside of our classroom and do something for them that would mirror something you would see in the real world. Most of the projects that were presented are pretty much a reflection of what the drama students wanted. They brought the artwork that they had created for their show and showed our students during the initial conference. They filled out their consultation sheets and wrote down as much information as they could based on all the information that they got from their client. And after they had that initial conversation, they got to work. They shared the first draft of their poster on the Google Drive. We commented back and forth, and the things that were created were pretty cool. I think for the most part, every student that was in digital media matched up exactly what the client showed them and wanted. We tried to respond to feedback, but for the most part, I think they did a really good job with it. And the consultation, actually collaborating with somebody and producing work that was not necessarily their initial idea, but having to listen to somebody else's ideas and express them through all of the programs that we've learned so far this year.